Hi, everyone. It's Lydia with the Avanti Wellness podcast and YouTube channel. And today I'm sitting here and I can't wait to introduce you to my friend. This is Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lydia.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm good. I know we were talking about the weather so gorgeous out there. We got to wrap this up and get out there, right? Get a little bike
Mhm.
ride in or something. Are you going to ride your bike today?
I'm probably not going to ride today. I did ride yesterday and it was absolutely beautiful. It got a little chilly too, but it was really nice after those storms blew through.
Oh, yeah. It's so nice right now. So, I like to start off my episodes by letting the audience know if I know or don't know the person that I'm talking to. And in this case, I've met Lisa 30 something years ago when we were in high school. And although we weren't that close in high school, we reconnected at the 30-year reunion, and social media was a way for us to keep up with each other's lives today. And so we have been able to have some interactions and some activities together since then. And just really excited to showcase what Lisa's up to these days. But she reached out to me on Monday and I found out she was working with the Great Age Movement. And I was like, I have to highlight you on my podcast. So that's what we're doing here today. I'm going to get Lisa to introduce herself, and then we're going to have her introduce the Great Age Movement and what that's all about. And then I'm just going to ask her a slew of questions and we're going to go with the flow. So
I
take it
love it.
away, Lisa.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So, I was on my little LinkedIn doing my thing, letting everyone know that the Great Age Movement's out there and sharing this great program that we have. And we connect, like you said, we reconnected back then, but I feel like the world's getting smaller and smaller for us. Like we're just like back on where we left off. It was fantastic. And kudos to you because you were fast and efficient. I mean, think about that was Monday and today is a few days later and
You're like, you
bam.
want to get together on Thursday?
I'm
Yes,
like
thank
lickety
you.
split. Yeah, making things happen. So yeah. So I'm just super excited about the program. It's a very new program. It's a very new organization. Fritz McDonald started this back in 2016, and then we had to get through COVID, and then seniors also a little being more susceptible really had to take a step back. But we are up and running now, and the program is off to a great start. We've been actively going for almost a year and a half now. And it is absolutely fantastic. It is all inclusive and just a great time.
Good. Well, I want everyone to know a little bit about you and just how long you've been involved in like fitness and the fitness industry. So share a little bit about your background.
So I've been a nonprofit pretty much my entire life, and I love helping people. That's my big passion. I did take a break from nonprofit. I became a certified personal trainer. I've always been an avid, um, I'm supposed to say I'm an avid competitive cyclist, which is just kind of funny because I do race. I am a cyclist, but those words just kind of, I don't know, they feel like they're kind of harsh. I like to help people. Even when I'm racing, like I'll still talk to the girls. I'm like, hey, watch that corner. Don't pin it. Don't pinch it. Things like that. So, we're all humans. We need to connect. So working out has always been part of my life. And then this position, another girlfriend of mine was telling me that she had a friend who worked for this nonprofit. He's trying to look for a developmental director. I pretty much just called him and said, I'm your girl. You need me. I'm passionate. I'm going to help you. And I didn't let him say no.
You
And
are perfect for this position. I mean, you have it
hey,
all. You have all the pieces that he needs.
hey.
So this is great.
Thanks. And it's been a lot of fun. So, he taught me the routine and then I've grown it. I typically will take groups out there, preferably 10 or more. We'll go out to our little fitness park, and that's where it's got about 20 different stations, and they've got elliptical, they have Tai Chi wheels, they have a recumbent bike out there. And it's all covered. It's got astroturf on the bottom, a little bit of shade on the top, and they can go to each station. They can work on their memory. They can work on Tai Chi wheels. And then we just kind of rotate throughout. Before we even do that, we do stretch because stretching is important to get the body warmed up. We'll warm up the shoulders, necks, the spine, legs, and all the other good stuff. And then we're out there about 20, 25 minutes. And then after that little bit of the program, we'll head over to the health museum that we've partnered with. If they drive themselves, we cover parking, we cover admission, and we provide a lunch. And so that program is called our Art and Exercise. The health museum in Houston, I didn't know we had a health museum in Houston, Texas. There's all kinds of museums down here. It's pretty amazing. But they've got interactive stations that you can work puzzles for the mind. You can do cardio. You can watch your heart beating. They even have folks out there that will have, I always want to say real live hearts because it's not live, but it was live at one time, but they will have hearts and they'll have
Oh,
lungs that,
like
thank
organs
you.
to
Yeah,
see?
yeah, real
Okay.
organs that you can look at and interact with, and you can see the effects of smoking on it. But our goal is just to keep our seniors actively engaged physically and mentally and socially, because as they get older, think about it, people move off, your kids get busy, your, God forbid, if anyone passes, and your sphere of influence kind of shrinks a little bit. So bringing them together, bringing them all out is our big mission, and keeping them moving.
I don't know if I mean, I didn't hear it, but did you say what the age demographic was for this program? I don't know if we talked about that.
55 is what we say. I'm not checking IDs. I'm not scanning anything. I'm not going to do that. I've had folks come out, and I think somebody may have been 55. I don't know, but they joined their mother, and this is a program that they got to do together. And then I had someone else bring their father and accompany him, and they loved it because it was something that they actually got to do together instead of just sitting in the house and talking, where I was leading the exercise and I was interacting with them, and we were taking pictures, and they were using the Tai Chi wheels. He was in a wheelchair actually. And so everything is set up. And so he's down there doing it. And the daughter's right there. And she goes, he hasn't smiled this. Oh, this is going to make me cry. She said he hasn't smiled as much since his wife had passed. And him
Aw.
coming out and being socially and mentally and physically engaged was such a lift for him, and it really bridged the gap, and he needed that. And I got big hugs. Oh gosh, I'm getting emotional again. Wow, that was unexpected. But it's those moments like that that drive me, that want me to do more for people, because it's so fun. It's so uplifting. I always say, if I could bottle the energy after we leave the art and exercise program, like my day is done. Like I'm so happy, and I'm walking out by 11:30. I'm like on top of the world. Like it was just amazing.
I mean, talk about being able to like live a passion and a purpose and being so fulfilled from that. I mean, I'm sure you're in tons of gratitude about having that in your life. And when when the people come, let's talk about how you get people to participate and what you have to do, and then what do they have to do to get on your schedule. Let's talk about that.
Oh, great question. So I call, for instance, a lot of assisted livings, or I call the various precincts in Houston, or organizations. So if it's a social club, book club, garden club, church club, any club, and I say, hey, this is Lisa with Great Age Movement. We want to host you. And a lot of people are first like, what? Skeptical. I'm like, it's free, complimentary, pay for parking. And then like, oh, okay, I'm interested. It's not going to cost me.
What, lunch? There's free lunch.
Free lunch. Yeah. And
All of a sudden
giveaways.
their antennas go up.
Oh yeah, we also have giveaways that the insurance companies bring, like little tchotchke stuff that's kind of fun. Like they got hats and gloves one time, hand sanitizer. They get all kinds of fun things out there. And so I say, let's get your group together. And they typically will get back to their group and like, hey, there's this crazy girl that wants to host this at this art and exercise program. And then I say, pick a date. And then I line it up with the health museum. They line up their transportation or figure out how that's going to work with them. And then we say, okay, they're coming out in, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, or whatever. We book Monday through Friday. Definitely you need to contact me to get something set up. And if you go to the Great Age Movement, you can submit a form and contact me. And then we just line it up. We exchange a couple emails. We say how many bring in. Fantastic. I'm super happy that you're coming. It's also posted on our website, the Great Age Movement. If you go down to events, you can see it. And if you are going to join, please let me know, because I may have it scheduled for 25 people with anticipating 25 folks coming. And if you come and bring me 5 more, I may not have enough lunches. So I definitely need to know you're coming to be fed. That's the only thing.
And I want to mention, you said this really fast, so I just want to reiterate it to people that we are in the 4th largest city in the United States. We're in Houston, Texas. She said we were in Houston, Texas. And so right now, this program that they're doing is only in Houston, Texas. So this is more of a local effort with a vision of being able to spread it nationwide, of course, but they're going to do it good here, get it all figured out here, and then they can start spreading out to other places.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm going to interrupt real quick. Yeah, it's Houston area, in the greater Houston area. So Tomball, Cypress, Katy, Galveston, Fort Bend, Sugarland, just kind of all that greater Houston
Galveston,
area.
if you can get there, you'll toast them, right?
Exactly, exactly. And then,
Yeah. Like
oh,
day
I lost
trippers.
it.
I know that some of these organizations go on day trips where they go out and then they
Mhm.
come back all in the same day. If somebody's in Beaumont and they can get there and come back all in the same day, you're up for it, right?
Absolutely. I've hosted some folks from Beaumont actually that came in. Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
actually not as far as you think because the museum district's really centrally located. And the other good thing about it is that we finish so early, you can really go look at the gardens, the McGowan Gardens that are across the way, or you can go down to Phoenician, or you could do another little something else that you want to do while you're in
Right.
Houston.
So you talk to a lot, I'm sure you talk to a lot of activities directors of places that are just even residential
Mhm.
communities. They don't have to be assisted living. It can be just a residential community of 55 plus. And there's tons of those new developments that are getting the Del Webbs and
Yes.
the big
Yeah.
developments. I'm sure you talk to all of those community engagement people, right?
Yeah, I reach out to anyone and everyone. So if it's the Brookdale or Baker Ripley or Precincts or what Del Webb, I was actually there, I believe on Monday.
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday I was there. Yeah.
Were
We're
you
gonna
the
head back
one
out.
in was it Fulshire or was
Yeah,
it the one in
Bolster.
Katy? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Bolster, yeah.
So, okay, and then, you do I heard you say it, but let's bring it to the attention. So you'll do it for as little as how many and as much as how many people is a good number to pick? Like, if you could put a RSVP on it, what's the ideal amount
Sure,
of
as few as
people?
10. We like to have at least 10 folks come in. If you make it 8, I'm not I'm a really bad rule follower. I don't really
Yeah, it's
like
not a
rules.
stickler thing.
Yeah, yeah. And then as far, I've done up to 90. That was a full house and that was a lot. That was a lot. So I would say probably the magic number is like 30 to 40 is
Mhm.
a good area. So anywhere
Yeah.
from 10 to 30 to 40 is a good mix.
And I think something that's important for people to hear, I asked the question on Monday when we were talking is, what do you do when the temperatures get really hot in Houston? And then you said it was under a cover. So let's talk about the actual experience from the morning to the flow through the day. Let's describe that.
So great question. So currently, because the weather is so beautiful right now, we've been able to do the 2-a-days. I always say the 2-a-day routines because we really want to see the signature fitness park. And currently, we have 2 of them that are in the ground, and we have funding for a third one. The first one is over at St. Dominic, that's over off of Holcomb, again in the center of Houston, and the second one's more on the east side of Houston. And our third one will be going into the ground. I'm not quite sure. Permitting is really hard to get with government organizations, but that will be over at the JWPV Center. So a typical morning, weather pending. Right now, it's absolutely beautiful in Houston. It's doable. We'll start about 8:45 and we'll spend anywhere from 20 to 20, 30 minutes there to get everyone acclimated to the machines, introduce them to the machines and see what they do. And then after that, we head over to the health museum. All of our programs, because I designed them and Fritz designs them, he is an occupational therapist. He actually specializes in geriatric occupational therapy. And we modify them as needed. And I always tell people, I'm like, don't push yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. If you need to take a break, if you need to sit down. I've had the pleasure of working with stroke patients. I've had the pleasure of working with Parkinson's, memory care. And it is amazing that people still can feel the music and the happiness and that social connection. And they really enjoy it. They get a big smile on their face. You can just see their spirits lift a little bit and they really enjoy it. So that's a long answer for a very short question. I hope I even got it in there
So
somewhere.
anywhere from 10, if there's a little, like if it's 9, it's okay. And then you've done up to 90, but is there like a sweet spot like for you to be able to manage? Is 50 or less like a sweet spot? I mean, where's the
Ideally
really
30,
cutoff?
35. Yeah,
Okay.
35. Yeah.
Yeah, so for like a activities director that's kind of wondering like, how many should I limit it to? And then also they got to get them there, right?
Yes.
So if they just have a bus, they may only be able to get the bus load,
Correct.
available, right?
Yes.
So okay, so let's see. We've talked about the experience. We've talked about who you serve, the community that you serve, who you reach out to. Now let's talk about how do these parks get funded? I mean, y'all are doing amazing work. You told me earlier on a conversation that this is typically like a underserved market, an underserved community. I will actually, I want to back that up. A friend of mine who's 87, she's active. She walks 40 minutes a day and rebounds even on the little trampoline. She's a good friend of mine. And she told me that like once you hit about 80, they kind of just forget about you. Like, because most people aren't getting past 80. And so all those healthier people who are between 80 and 90 and 100, there's not like a whole lot of programs for them. So I love that y'all are focusing on this demographic and giving them mental stimulation, physical stimulation, social stimulation. What are all the other stimulations that
Physical.
physical
Yeah,
stimulation,
yeah.
yeah, movement, circulatory, conversations to help everything get moving and the blood flowing, right?
Absolutely. And as I go through the health museum, and as we do any of the exercises, I always tell them how it relates back, why it's important to do this. Whether even if you're just carrying groceries in, it's important to have that strength and that balance. Because if you think about it, if you might be on a cane and you're carrying groceries, well, your balance is going to be off. So maintaining that balance is really, really important, and keeping that proactive strength, because as we age, we lose muscle very quickly, especially in females. So it's really important just to keep moving, keep engaged. And so as we're going through the various stations, I always talk about heart healthiness and why it's important to keep that going, or whether it's musculoskeletal or the colon and things like that. So we touch on a little bit to tie it back to real practical applications.
It's so true. On this channel, Avanti Wellness, we've been on a Move More in 24 campaign. And so a lot of us are using the Rebounder. And even for me, I mean, I created the campaign because I needed to be moving more in my life. And one of the things I noticed, because I'm 55, I just turned 55 this year, which is why I'm kind of thinking, okay, I need to start being more mindful, is that my balance, I didn't have a problem with balance, like just walking, but like stepping off of the curb
Mhm.
and, doing it quickly without any kind of hesitation. Those muscles had gotten a little bit weak. And so I had to be more careful jumping off of a curb. But now that I've been rebounding, all my balance muscles, because I'm on an unstable surface, are starting to get strengthened, and I'm doing it every day. So I just want to mention, like, when you don't use it, it does
Yeah.
not need to function. So it goes and uses the energy in other areas where you're actually using and needing those muscles. And so this is a program that can help you make sure that all your moving parts are
Yes.
getting a little bit of activity, right?
Yeah. You touched on that part where your neighbor friend said that she's kind of a forgotten person, and that's the part that's the saddest. We don't want that to happen. Yeah, the European states do a great job taking care of their elderly and being proactive and sharing their life with them still. Whereas in the United States, we're kind of lagging on that, and that's something we can improve on. And this is his big vision, his big goal is to continue to keep our seniors, because our senior population is growing. We're living longer and healthier, and we want to maintain that. And we want to be proactive in that.
And I think, okay, so we were going in the direction of donorship, but let's just go here for a second and say that I can't imagine why insurance companies wouldn't want to support this cause, because the healthier a patient is, the less costly it costs for that insurance to pay for their medical expenses when they're insured. And so, we were going to move into like a donor conversation about who can donate and what are the typical kind of donors. Do you want to share with us like the type of people who are currently donating, and then who would you like to see donations
And
come in
it's a perfect
from?
segue. You mentioned insurance companies, and we've been blessed that we have United Health and WellMed as one of our partners. And it's a huge insurance company. They've been very, very generous. They provide a lot of the lunches. They help us underwrite the galas and our luncheon that we have. So very, really positive impact. And they're very passionate. They provide volunteers and a lot of the giveaways. And they will even talk to the seniors. They also usually bring out a doctor, and they talk on heart healthiness. So there's little speeches or having lunch to kind of tie it all back of being heart healthy, or if it's diabetes. Again, very interactive program. But as far as donors, we're looking for anyone and everyone. So if you have a passion, if we touch your heart, or if you want to get involved and you want a brick in Houston, Texas, or over on the east side, let us know. Our donations, you can donate any amount. But if you want I always like to talk to you and make sure it's a great fit. Does it make sense? Are we hitting your needs? I know you want to give to us, but we want to make sure it's a good symbiotic relationship, that it's everyone's needs are being met. Other things we do, like I mentioned before, we have 2 fundraising functions, the luncheon, and then we have a gala. We got a great silent auction that takes place, very generous donors. You buy tables and chairs to go. And then just really amazing supporters that come out. We like to have a couple seniors attend as well, because there are proof in the pudding. They're the ones sharing the experience. They're like, hey, come meet Betsy. She was amazing. She's 82 years old. I had a gentleman last week and he was 92 on the elliptical, just going, and his wife is fussing him saying, slow down. And then she got on, she's 90 years young. And then she's going as hard as she could.
Like, move over. Let me do it.
They were incredible. It is incredible. I was like, oh, y'all are just so fun to watch and so energetic and so positive.
I bet you're inspired. I mean, when I have somebody, we have a community member at Avanti Wellness named Duty, and she's 90 years old, and she inspires me.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to be like Duty when they're 90 years old. And last year for her birthday, she did that I fly thing where where it's like you're jumping out of an airplane. So, I mean, and I was like, wow, your body is strong enough with your muscles to hold yourself while the air is, I mean, that was impressive when she was doing that. So, okay, a little bit more about donors. So, yes, you'll take money from anyone and everyone. And earlier we were discussing that, if you're a corporation and you want to get involved because you want to give back to that general specific population that y'all are serving, they could buy a park, right? I mean,
Yes,
just call you and they can donate a park.
Yeah, our fitness parks cost anywhere from 110 to 125. It depends. Inflation these days are going up. But that's what it takes to get it installed, to actually buy the physical park. And we'd love to have like a Shell, Conoco, Bechtel, any of those big names. Let us know. And we also, in addition to, yeah, I'm throwing them all out there. Kroger. HEB.
Yeah, Kroger. Kroger's got 116 stores in the city. They can donate.
Exactly. We also need volunteers. So if you want to get involved with us on the volunteer level, by all means, reach out to us, greatagemovement.org. We love to have volunteers get involved. Or if you want to attend as well, greatagemovement.org.
Yeah. When are your big fundraisers coming up?
We've got one that'll happen in the fall and then the next spring. So we just wrapped up.
You just had one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the spring. It was great. It was
where did y'all go? Or like, where was the gala at?
It was at the Tanglewood Ballroom, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a wonderful event. It was really, really done well. He beautiful silent auction, just a lot of fun. It was a good time.
Oh, speaking of silent auction items, and I just flicked my hair back behind my ears. You were telling me that at the other episode who was, let's give a shout out to one of our friends. I'll let you do the intro and then I'll do the
Mark Klein. Congratulations. He just opened another store. I think he's got 3 or 4 brick and mortars in town, and he has amazing pieces. So poor Mark gets hit up for everything, but he always shows up. And he donated a beautiful pair of earrings. They went for an amazing amount of money. Great donation. He didn't even ask for anything in return. He didn't say, I need 5 social media posts. He didn't say anything. Just amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. And the best thing is when you go into his store, well, because you're wearing half of his jewelry.
That's right. He made these earrings, everybody. And then I got my bracelet from him.
He's like, try this on, and I felt like a princess. I was like, oh my God, I'm like dripping in diamonds.
Oh my gosh. The other day I was in there getting my mom's ring appraised, and they had this rainbow diamond bracelet. It was crazy, beautiful. I posted it on social media because it was just so amazing. And it was a rainbow of diamonds, and it was like $16,000. I mean, I wasn't interested in a rainbow diamond necklace, but bracelet, but it was definitely pretty. And I want to give Mark a shout out too. You just reminded me that when I did a half marathon in Alaska for Team in Training, which was the Leukemia Society, and this was like in 2000 and I think I went there in 2003 or 2004. I was raising money for the Leukemia Society, and he gave me a little necklace to auction off at my little personal auction that I got to sell tickets for, raffle tickets for. So thanks again for that, Mark, from 20 years ago.
That's awesome. What
Yeah,
a
and
good
Mark,
guy.
by the way, Mark went to high school with us, so I don't know, did we say that? I don't think did I tell Oh, yeah, I think I told everybody that we reconnected 30 years at our 30-year reunion. So, yeah, Mark went to high school with us, so it's a lot of fun to support each other, here 30, 35 years later, knowing that we
I
had our
know.
childhood years together as well, so is there anything else that we need to talk about the program before we wrap this episode up? I can't think of anything except for you said it. I don't know if everyone heard you, but you said what your website was. If they want to donate, you said it was the greatagemovement.org. If you want to go, and if you're an individual, they'll take a donation. If you're a company, they'll take a donation. And if you're just sitting on a big wad of cash and you don't have anywhere to store it, they'll take your donation too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can only be fun and have fun with this because we know it's a good cause. And I want you to share what you taught me the other episode where you said this is
Oh,
what you tell because you've been
so
doing fundraising for a lot of years, right?
I have. And so I learned a lot of people are like, well, I can't, I'm busy that weekend. Or like, there's always an excuse. Everyone's got busy. So I always give them options. I give them 3 options and they can't say no after I give them the 3 options. So I'm like, well, you can either volunteer or you can actually participate or you can write a check out of your way to get out of it. So write your check out of the way. So just write a check and then I'll leave you alone this year and then we're good. So yeah,
Yeah, do your one due diligence. Yeah, and you're good.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been so fun too. Is there anything else we need to tell the audience? I feel like we've covered who it is, what they get, who can help you do this and expand it and grow it in the Houston area. And I don't know. Is
Yeah,
there any?
don't be
I
a
feel like
stranger. Reach out to me. Like I said, I'm always looking for new groups, and it's just one person. It's just me, and then Fritz. We're trying to get as many people involved as possible. I've got repeat customers or guests coming through now. They're really enjoying the program. We've been going for a year and a half almost now. We need volunteers. We need donations. We need participants because it's a lot of fun. It really is, and no one's really getting younger, unfortunately.
yeah, and I want to just mention that you said that it's just you and Fritz and the volunteers. And I just want to say that, like, for an organization who is donating to a nonprofit, when a nonprofit is lean and slim, and you know that the majority of the funds go to actually the movement and the park and the
Yes.
efforts and to the seniors, you can feel really good about your donation because there's not a heavy big, you know, entity with
Yeah,
lots of
there is,
expenses.
his office is actually out of his house,
Yeah.
and everyone is a volunteer position on the board. They do an amazing job. Fritz, this is not Fritz's full-time job. He has a full-time job, and he always reminds me, he's like, "I don't get paid for this. I need more help." And he leans on the board more, and, they all have full-time jobs too. So that's why he's got a great, great board, a great set of volunteers around him because it can't be done by one person. So we need all the help we can. And that's a great point. I really appreciate you recognizing that there is no overhead. There isn't a brick and mortar or anything like that. I'm in my office at my house. He's working usually in between appointments. He'll call me and he just rattles off a whole bunch of things or sends me like a whole mega list of texts, talk to text kind of thing.
Get this done.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a really fast pace, but we're really fortunate because I am seeing the difference that we're making, the smiles, the care, the compassion, and the fact that they're coming back for more of this.
Yeah. I want to invite if anybody from the media or anyone who knows the media can, learns about this, I would love for Lisa to get some media attention because it's such a great cause and we don't want to forget our community and our population 55 plus, and the plus
Right.
goes far reaching, like
Yes,
50
it
years.
does. Yeah.
So anyway, so thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing all the good that you're doing out there in the world with the Great Age movement. I'm happy to highlight you guys and get the word out. And you know what, guys, if you're in another part of the world and you want to donate, ring Lisa up. Her number's on the website. And it's a global platform. So we never know whose lives we're going to be able to touch today.
All right. Thank you, Lydia. I really appreciate your time and reaching out and making this a really great partnership. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.